If you're trying to make money with Amazon FBA, you've probably run into the same issue that I experienced a few years ago before I made over $300,000. And that issue is called ungating. This is something that wipes out 99% of people who want to start selling on Amazon. So I want to make you a promise. I promise that this will be the last ungating video that you ever watch. And by the end of this video, you not only will know the steps that you need to take, but you'll also know the sites that are used to ungate the best and biggest brands on Amazon. Now, I've broken this video down into 3 simple steps. In step 1, I'm going to explain to you why ungating is so important. In step 2, I'll show you the exact strategy I use to get ungated. And then finally, I'm gonna explain to you how to make thousands of dollars every single month after you've gotten ungated. And trust me, if you're serious about making money with Amazon, you're definitely gonna wanna stick around for that. Now, before I explain to you my process, you need to understand that the inability to get ungated on Amazon is by far the biggest reason that a beginner will quit. And look, I completely get it. Back in 2023, ungating wasn't that much different than it is right now. I remember being so excited when I first got my Amazon seller account. I was always looking for products to sell, and I came across a lot of them, but I ran into the same issue over and over again, and it was the fact that I was gated in almost every brand. So then it felt like I couldn't even sell anything, and my motivation just slowly started disappearing. I remember thinking to myself, man, is this even possible? How am I gonna make this work? And even worse, I started comparing myself to other people. And if you're watching this video, I assume that you're going through the exact same thing right now. Fortunately, I've managed to fix this issue and get hundreds of people get past this exact same point in their journey. Like Josh, who just made $21,000 in his first 30 days selling on Amazon. So now that you understand all of this, let's talk about what ungating actually is and why it's even a thing. Now on Amazon, products are gonna fall into 4 separate categories. Number 1 is gonna be non-gated products. These are products that you can sell right now. Number 2 is gonna be auto ungates. Number 3 is gated products, which Amazon has restricted these products until you provide proof of purchase or an invoice. Once you do that, then you'll become ungated for that product. Finally, there are restricted products, which are also known as hard gated products, which means that you absolutely cannot sell these regardless of the work that you put in. A lot of people actually despise that they have to provide proof or try and get ungated for certain products and brands. But here's why I actually think it's a good idea. Amazon created ungating as a thing to avoid scammers from being able to sell on the same listing on the platform. Amazon needs sellers, and at the end of the day, they're not gonna make a decision that's going to negatively impact sellers as a whole long term. Ungating is a great thing for 99% of real sellers. Some of the best products that I run are really difficult ungates. This allows me to maintain the longevity of the product and keep making money for months and years on end. The products that are auto ungates are usually the worst products to sell because new sellers join them and tank the listing. And look, if you're watching this video, I'm gonna assume you're serious about Amazon FBA because there's no way someone who's brand new would even run into this issue. The thing with Amazon FBA is that compared to other side hustles, this is a real business. As a result, there are so many things that I see people getting wrong all the time. People don't know how to set up their store, choose the right products, or even worse, when they get all this right, they don't know how to scale it. But that's exactly why I created my mentorship program, Flip the System. Inside, we'll work with you one-on-one to scale your Amazon FBA business. We'll show you what products to run, how to set up your store, and how to actually treat this as a real business so that you can make real and consistent income. If you're finally ready to take this shit to the next level, I'm gonna leave a link in the description for those of you who are interested. But with that being said, let's actually talk about how to get ungated on Amazon. At this point, you have 3 options to get ungated. 2 of them I recommend, but the third one I need you to stay far away from. Let me explain. Auto ungating is great, but like I said earlier, it doesn't necessarily bring the right crowd of sellers. Now, I still would recommend getting auto ungated because when you get auto ungated on Amazon, Amazon looks at you and sees that you have auto ungates in some of these brands. And therefore, when you go to look at harder to ungate brands, Amazon will take into account that you're ungated and selling other products. This will allow you to build trust with Amazon as a platform, and they will soon allow you to start selling bigger and harder to ungate products. When you actually have to submit invoice and documents, such as manual ungating, when you submit the invoice or the receipt that you're using to get ungated on Amazon, you need to highlight certain things in order for Amazon's system to understand what you're actually trying to get ungated for. And the 3 things I like to personally highlight are my name, the amount of units that I bought, and the last 4 digits of my card. This will allow Amazon to recognize that not only did I purchase the right amount of units, but that it's actually me who is buying them. Now, not only that, I would also really recommend to use the comments feature when getting ungated on Amazon. People most often skip over the comments feature, but the comments do get looked at. Explain to them how many units you bought, that the order is fulfilled, and where to contact the store that you purchased them from if applicable. And lastly, if all of that doesn't work and you don't get ungated for the brand, do not give up. Sometimes you need to try 10, 15 times. Now, I wouldn't recommend submitting the same thing over and over again. that's how you're just gonna get in an infinite loop of getting declined. Personally, I found what works the best when getting declined is to always add new information such as screenshots, bank statements, etc. And to go through the case logs and actually email Amazon instead of submitting the same document over and over again. That's going to get you redeclined. Then there's gating services, which please, for the love of God, do not use an ungate service. Most ungating services charge $250 all the way to $1,000 per brand. And any brand that they're able to get you ungated for, you can do it yourself easily if you knew how to. If I'm being honest, once you know how to get ungated on Amazon for products, it's actually a pretty easy process, but there's something else that you need to know. If for whatever reason you're struggling with an ungate on a certain brand, don't spend too long worrying about it. The longer Amazon sees that you're a trustworthy seller, the easier it becomes to ungate in the long run. So with that in mind, let me tell you the exact strategy to start scaling with these products that made me over $88,000 in just 30 days. So listen closely, because this is game that I would actually charge $5,000 a month for. I actually specifically sell products that I know are difficult ungates. That reason being that I'm not just in this for a month or two. I'm in this game for years. When I'm looking for products, I specifically storefront stalk sellers that are doing better and bigger numbers than me. There are certain softwares that will allow you to source these certain products from certain sellers. I personally like to use Keepa and SellerAmp. For this method to work, you actually need to find products on your own firsthand from sourcing from different websites such as Target, Walmart, Vitamin Shop, and more. Once you found a profitable product, you can search up the ASIN on SellerAmp and see the other sellers that are selling this product. Look for the biggest sellers with lots of reviews and lots of good ones. By using this strategy paired with SellerAmp, you're able to see which products they're actually selling on their own storefront. From there, I'll look at the products that they're selling and see if they're selling a product that might be worthwhile. I'll start copying their products and seeing if I can find it cheaper on any of the websites online. I'll see if it has more than a 30% profit margin and if it sells for more than $5 profit per unit, because it leaves me room for mistakes such as products getting damaged during transit, products getting lost, or just returns. If you look at another storefront and see that none of the products that you find are online, it's very likely that they're doing wholesale. So you want to stay away from that, because we're specifically talking about online arbitrage. Make a list in a spreadsheet or notes app of other online arbitrage sellers that you like that are doing better and bigger numbers than you. The thing is, even if you know how to ungate products or scale products past $10,000 a month, if you can't replicate this over and over again, you're going to stay broke. That's why in this video right here, I'm gonna go over my full guide to find winning products on Amazon. And now that you know how to ungate products, this video is gonna be incredibly helpful for you.